I'm going to mute out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Entrepreneur Power Hour, where we unite the world's entrepreneurs, have a good time, and provide value for people. Tonight, we're talking about 6 habits that you can use to turn dreams into reality. The first one that I remember reading in this article, which I'm going to give credit to Entrepreneur.com, and I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head right now, but I put it in the event description. So you want to use creative visualization, and you want to have a definite goal and a definite chief aim inside of your soul to be striving for. And as long as you can use creative visualization and you know how to use it effectively, you can definitely feel it once it begins to take place. A lot of my inspiration and creative visualization has come from personal development, reading personal development books, listening to personal development audio courses. And so it's been a lot of creative visualization for me, lots of work, lots of persistence. Somebody else?
I guess I'll actually take that. I think the biggest thing when I read the article and when I looked at it was what I was talking about before was persistence. It's hard to see something where you want it to be when it's not. And it takes a special kind of looking into yourself and looking into the future. And you have to have that perception that if I'm going to move forward today, then I have to realize that where I'm at now and where I want to be is possible. And I have to take the little steps, which is showing up every day, working on it just a little bit. And I remember when we first started, we didn't have backdrops or camera, good cameras or anything. And it was just me and you in kind of the dark. We didn't even know. We had kind of this weird question interview thingy, and we didn't have many views. Then over a year, just working super hard at it, we found a way. And now that we've found a way to advertise, we can even get more views and more people to our shows.
I found the article here. I just had to restart my computer. It was doing.
Ferdinand also joined.
I'm here.
Hi, Ferdinand. Great on, brother. You made it. All right,
it's very late here, but
that's fine. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for coming on, brother. The person who wrote this article is Mr. Rick Kelly. He's a contributor for Entrepreneur.com. So I believe, like we said, materializing our dreams using visualization, or what Shakti Goldman calls creative visualization in her book of the same title, is a technique in creating what you want from life, using the power of imagination and using some common visualization techniques. So, yeah. Roll with it, somebody.
Well, the whole idea, we talked about persistence first and visualization.
Okay.
When you're working on persisting towards a goal, like I want to create this power hour to something huge, let's say 3 or 4 or 5 people show up and then I don't get the views I want. I have to, if I take and look at the thing for what it is all the time and say, well, when we first started, it was only me and you. I have to not only persist, but how do I keep persisting? I have to see this thing huge. I have to see me and you in a stage of 1 million, 2 million, billions of people. I have to see huge seminars. I have to see the whole studio, which I can build this month, finding the right camera. I have to see amazing software working with the green screen. If I can't see that, then it's really difficult to put it into a real world. It starts all up here, the visualization. And I'll throw the ball to either Ron or Ferdinand. We're talking about the 6 ways to turn a dream into a reality. It was an article on Entrepreneur.com.
6 habits that you can use to turn dreams into reality.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's very important, like you say, to visualize your goals, because you have to know where you're going to. In my opinion, it's like driving a taxi.
Yeah, it is actually.
If you're the taxi driver and the guy don't know where he want to go to, there's a little problem.
No, that makes sense. It's almost like, I know since you're in the cryptocurrency space, Ferdinand, I'm working to learn that. It's kind of seeing how that is going to work. It's a very visual thing because it's all digital. So I can't like pull out Bitcoins and OK Cash and throw them at people. But what I can do is make videos and show them what I'm doing and say, like, look, visualize this. You're at one place, your friend's at one place, all you need is an address and then you get money. They're like, whoa, that's amazing. And then it's also like this. You're in one place, your friend's in one place, you can pull up Skype and see each other. Someone had to see that in their head, and they were probably called crazy. They're like, video conferencing with people over in someplace like Africa or China. If someone had told me that when I was a kid in 1988, that I would have a device like this, that I could Skype with people all across the world, in India and Europe, I would have said they're nuts and they need to sit back down. But not so far off, it happened. Just imagine what you can do with visualization. We've seen Nikola Tesla did so many inventions. And when you're persistent and you can visualize, what can you create?
Yeah, actually, you can take a perfect example of visualization or turning a dream into reality. You see it every month. That's the movie industry, man. It starts off and somebody's got a story, you know, but you have to actually physically work at it. But if you can see it in your head, you know what you want it to look like. I particularly like the film industry because that's as literal as it gets, you know, because they have, you know, they'll write a script and then they're storyboarding it, you know, so they're actually drawing what they're imagining in their head. And then, you know, they get their funds, and their final result is what we see on the big screen. But that's all. It's all from visualization.
Yeah, or just having a dream. I mean, think of how many dreams and crazy ideas Steven Spielberg or Walt Disney had, or some of these directors. And you see some of these directors and they seem a little bit crazy. They seem a little bit off. But they have some of the most interesting dreams and ideas. One guy I really like is Spike Lee, because he, my understanding, writes, acts, and directs. So he sees his movie, he writes the script, he does some of the acting, and he also does the directing, which to me, I'm like, whoa, do you sleep, bro?
But you can sleep when you're dead, apparently.
Yeah, and then you look at, then you got George Lucas. Look what he did. I mean, he started off as primarily a director. Now all of a sudden, industrial light and magic. Oh, he just changed everything, and no accident.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that the imagination is your most powerful tool. You know, when I was a kid, I can remember when I really wanted, like, my first video game console outside the 8-bit world. It was a Super Nintendo. I visualized that in my head, and I could feel it myself playing, and I could see it on my television screen, and I found a way to make the money to buy it. I went out and I did shoveling. I shoveled walks. I mowed lawns. I went out and helped the elderly. I worked for an older woman, helped her clean her house. I did anything I could to get that money, to get that console. And then when it came to getting my vehicle that I have now, it took a lot of planning and a lot of creative visualization, because I said to myself, I don't want to spend $7,000 on a car. I want to get a car for under $2,000, and I want it to be mostly highway driven, and I will put repairs into it along the way. Sure enough, here I am with the same car after 6 years. It does need some body work. I've got a rust along my quarter panel right here on the wheel well, which is rusting pretty bad. But other than that, I've only had to put regular routine maintenance into it. And every part that I've had to replace in that vehicle, whether to do with the engine, the suspension, was all factory. So those parts lasted 16 years before I had to do anything to that vehicle. So for me, it's been a lot of self-discovery and realizing that, okay, if I concentrate on something hard enough, it's going to manifest. Whether through an opportunity, whether it manifests through meeting someone else that's going to bring that opportunity to me, whether it's through some other interaction of some kind, it's going to happen because the imagination is connected to the universe. We are connected to the universe. Our consciousness is connected to the universe. So we have the ability to visualize and to think and to create with our minds. And then through that process, we have the ability to take action towards the related thoughts and the emotions that we have of what we're trying to manifest. So I love it when people say that, you know, well, that sounds like crazy stuff, man. You sound like a cult follower. You know, what's going on there? I don't believe in that mystical horse shit. Well, it's like, fine, then don't believe in it. But those are the people that you don't want to be around if you're somebody who has a dream, because those are people who subscribe to the status quo, that subscribe to the majority, that subscribe to the sheep herd-minded mentality. So an entrepreneur is a person who's not afraid to be criticized, who's not afraid to be disliked, who's not afraid to go after what they want, and not afraid to become unpopular in the process. Because from what I've experienced, a lot of people in my life, I'm not friends with them anymore. Because I have this dream and I concentrate my mind on making this a reality, because all of my time other than work or when I'm with my girlfriend or, you know, chilling out with a couple buddies goes into the power hour, into myself, and into what I want to achieve.